This is Dennis from Guitar Lessons Ithaca. It's my sincere hope that this video is going to help you expand your rhythmic horizons greatly in playing blues and jazz. And it's via taking the clave from Afro-Cuban 6/8 and putting it into a 12-bar blues. So at the end of this video, not only am I going to have a demonstration where I show you what I'm talking about, but then another 5-minute play along where you can explore all these rhythms on your own. But first, I have a bunch of explaining to do, so wish me luck and please try and stay with me. Now, I'm no music historian, but it's pretty common knowledge that the blues has its ancestry in West African tradition. So West African music oftentimes is in what we call 6/8 or even 12/8. And this is what a traditional 6/8 rhythm might sound like. Now, what does that have to do with the blues? Well, this might be a little forced, but I put a track from Band in a Box of a blues shuffle on top of that Afro-Cuban 6/8, just so you can hear that there is a connection there. And it sounds like this. So you can at least see that there's some common ancestry there. Now, how are we going to take the 6/8 and connect it to our blues playing right now? Well, that has to do with the claves. So this first one where it says number 1 in the upper left, where my mouse is, this is like the original Afro-Cuban clave. And if you take the tempo we just heard it at, like gang, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then that's what this is. It's like gang, 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 gang. And I'm going to show you how you can apply that to a blues. But before I do that, let me explain a little more. Because of a masterclass I went to from Donnie McLaughlin, who was talking about playing with Danilo Perez and how they were, suggesting that he dig in deeper to the clave. He took the clave and moved it 12 different times to start on different eighth note each time. So if you were to take this number 1 and move everything over by an eighth note, you actually come up with number 4. And the order of these doesn't really matter. I organize these in a different way, but that's how I came up with all these different variations. And really, there's only 6 of them, and the other 6 are the reverse of, like this number 1 reverse. Instead of gang, 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 this is gang, 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 gang. So it's just the same thing in reverse. So there's 6 claves, and each of them can be reversed, so it's a total of 12 claves. Now you can express this in 6/8 as I have done here, or you can express it in 4/4 as I've done here. So these are the same 12 claves now expressed in 4/4. In other words, if you have the metronome clicking the same way it was before, but you count 2 bars of 6/8 fit inside 1 bar of 4/4 triplets, like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2, it sounds the same. Gang, 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 gang. I just scattered number 1. I personally like to go even further and represent these in syllables, and I'll show you. And I did this a little bit in another video I have of taking these Afro-Cuban claves and putting it into Have You Met Miss Jones. Today we're going to put it in a blues. And I explained it a little bit there. I'm going to explain it again here. So this sheet has yet a different way of expressing the same rhythms, and this has to do with syllables. Now, if you take the 12, it's 2 bars of 6/8, right? Fitting inside of 4/4. Either way, it's 12 beats total. That's the total cycle of beats is 12. So it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could have wrote 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, and it would have been the same difference. I think if you look carefully, you'll notice that it's 2, like this note, this ta lasts for 2 beats, and then this ka lasts for 3 beats. So that's 2 plus 3, and then this ta lasts for 2 beats, this lasts for 2 beats, and this lasts for 3 beats. This totals 12. In order to keep track of these and make friends with them, I grouped them together. I grouped where the 2 plus 3, I grouped that as taka. I used the South Indian language of Kanakal, and I grouped the 2 plus 3 as takita. So wherever we move these two, like earlier I was saying that if you move number 1 over by an eighth note, it's number 4. Well, there's your same taka and then taquita. It also helps, it shows you which beats it lines up with. Like I personally tap my foot in too. Like when I'm playing in 4/4, and I did a video on this too, halftime, feeling in halftime. So I might not tap, like if I'm feeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I might not tap my foot on all those beats. I only tap every other beat. Like I'll go tap, 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 and that's why there's a thick line here between 6 and 7. So it shows you like which beats line up. Like let's just do a random one. We take number 3 reversed, like 1, 2, 3, 4, da, ki, da, ta, ga, ta, ki, da, ta, ga. Like it helps me to realize that like this beat falls on beat 3 and this falls on beat 4, because it's kind of like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So I like the names for these groups, and I like the visual map. So that's the map we're going to be using. So what's going to happen is I'm going to scat each rhythm 4 times over the first 4 bars of a 12-bar blues, and then play the rhythms. Sometimes I'm going to play normal blues lines, but then also access the rhythms sometimes in the remaining 8 bars per blues form. In other words, I'm going to scat number 1 for the first 4 bars, and for the remaining 8 bars, I'll either play the rhythm that I just scatted or just play free form. Then the next blues chorus, it'll go to number 1 reversed, and the same process happens. Then after that, it's number 2, then number 2 reversed, and I go through all 6 like that. And then after I demonstrate that, I'm going to have a practice track for you where you can hear the click. I kept the hits going the whole time, so you can choose to dip in and out of those at will. And I hope that you have wonderful success. You're going to find that making this type of a study really enhances the rhythmic aspect of your blues and jazz playing. And let me know how it works out for you, and good luck.
taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, taki. Tak, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, tak. Taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira. Takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka. Taka, takita, taka, takita, taka, takita, taka, takita. Kita, taka, takita, taka, takita, taka, takita, taka, tak. Kira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, tak. Tak, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, tak. Da, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira. Takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka. Taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira. Takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka. Da, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira. Takira, taka, taki. Ta, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, ta. Taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira. Takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka, takira, taka.